It's no question that FC Barcelona must make signings this summer so that they could compete to the highest level like they did this season on to the next. Hopefully replicate what they did this season onto the next, and also including the biggest trophy of them all, which is the Champions League. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm still kind of butthurt about it for sure. I'm still thinking about it. There's not a night that I don't think about it because we were a minute and a half away. But, there it goes. It went away. We can't do anything about it. We tried our best, but now we have to think about the future. Then this team definitely has a future. Under Hansi Flick, it definitely has a future. Now, when it comes to the actual, financial situation of the club, there's still many questions to ask about it. Can we even make signings? Can we even make big signings? There's still rumors, going around the club and around the team that we might not be able to spend that much, as much as we'd like to help Hansi Flick and back him up into the signings that he wants, right? So we're going to have to deal with what we got. Going into the season, we only made one signing, but, that's just how it is. But Hansi Flick was able to, do magic with it. But to compete to the highest level, we're going to need depth. We need depth. Like this season, we went in with depth, but I think we just need a little bit more. We need a little bit more of a push to definitely just be the best team, continue being the best team in the world, and all in all just try and win the Champions League. I think that's the main objective for next season. Now in this video, we're going to quickly talk about some of the, what we need to improve, but I'm going to specifically just focus on the defense. I'm going to talk about the defense, the players that we currently have, who potentially should stay, who potentially should leave, and how it's looking like for us in the transfer window. I'm not going to lie and tell you guys that I really know like all in out what defenders we should be going for. I think defensively, when it comes to center halves, that's the one position I really wouldn't focus on for investing this summer. Fullbacks, 100%. Fullbacks definitely have to be the ones that we have to invest. But I'm going to focus more today on the players that we currently have and who should stay and who should go. Now, switching over to this screen, we're seeing the defenders that we currently have in the squad. These are all the defenders that Barcelona have at their disposal. Jules Kounde, Hector Ford, INIGO Martinez, Andres Christensen, Ronald Araujo, Eric Garcia, CUBARSI, and Alejandro Balde and Gerard Martin. That's the depth that we have when it comes to our defense, which is pretty good depth considering what they all did this season. It's not bad, right? It's not bad. Now, when we look at it specifically in the certain positions, for sure, we have a center back like Jules Kounde playing as a right back. We had, Balde was all on our left back. Gerard Martin was his backup, but Gerard Martin just didn't bring the same level as him. We didn't really have a backup for Jules Kounde as a right back until, the recent revelation of Eric Garcia. But besides that, we had to, but at the same time, Kounde has just been a beast this whole season, hasn't really been out as much, just until last month. But we definitely need some depth to, for competition for Kounde and to give him rest. We can't have Jules Kounde playing every single minute of every game. Like that's just going to be too much for him to handle. And Hector Ford is, supposedly supposed to be his backup, but I don't know. This season, Hansi Flick hasn't really trusted him. I actually like Hector Ford. What I've seen from him under Xavi, I actually liked it a lot. He has potential. He's still young. He's only 18 years old. So he still has a future. He can still improve. But Hansi Flick hasn't really trusted him as much as he probably should have this season. When it comes to our center halves, INIGO Martinez, Christensen, Ronald Araujo, Eric Garcia, CUBARSI, and again, Jules Kounde can also play as the center half. Well, we all know the situation when it comes to the center halves, who Hansi Flick has trusted this whole season, which has been INIGO Martinez and CUBARSI. Those two have been the biggest, just the biggest two players that Hansi Flick has trusted all season long. Like at the beginning of the season, obviously Andres Christensen was out. Eric Garcia just wasn't as a favor for Hansi Flick as CUBARSI and INIGO Martinez was. And Araujo was also coming back from an injury, if I'm not mistaken. And that's why Hansi Flick decided to go at the beginning of the season with INIGO Martinez and CUBARSI. And that was an amazing decision because both have been amazing all season long. And it's been practically clear that those two are the main guys that he's trusted in the big games, the important games. Those two have been the big ones that he's trusted. Even when Araujo came back, when Eric Garcia came back, Christensen just came back, so we really didn't see anything from Christensen this season. But yeah, INIGO Martinez and CUBARSI's situation, I'm thinking about them 100% having to stay in Barcelona this season because I'm going to assume that he's going to continue trusting them. I think like when it comes to the system that we play, the high line and everything, those two executed the best. Like again, Hansi Flick has just trusted them all season, so. I'm going to assume that they're 100% going to stay. Well, mostly assume for INIGO Martinez because CUBARSI He's 100% staying. He's still a young guy. He can improve massively. His future is bright. He's a generational talent. A la Masia talent. That's one guy we can never, ever even think about getting rid of anytime soon. Inigo Martinez, he's reaching. He's reaching an age. He's currently 34. So, he's getting up there. He doesn't have much long to play for this Barcelona side. I would say minimum a year left, a year or two. Two is reaching. I think two is reaching, but I think he has one more year left in this Barcelona squad before he either becomes a rotational player or he himself decides to leave, or the club just decides to get rid of him. Because when we look at his contract, Inigo Martinez's contract runs out in 2026. So he has a year left. I think they're just going to run through his contract and just let him go on a free. When it looks like how Inigo Martinez has improved massively this season, we can definitely get some bread for him. I don't think for a top club, but, maybe Saudi or maybe, whatever other smaller team would want him. But I would assume that he'll just run through his contract and then just leave on a free, when he decides to leave. But at that point, he'll be 35, and I think at best a year left for Inigo Martinez. For KUBARSI, look, 2029. Again, this guy's our future. Let's not even think about him. Now, when it comes to the other center halves, Ronald Araujo. Listen, guys, after the Champions League, when he came on for Inigo Martinez, he got a lot of hate. And I can say the same thing. I threw some hate at him, for sure. I was definitely disappointed in the performance that he put up. Resembling a little bit what he did last season as well, where he got the red card against PSG, right? I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. It's been pretty clear that Ronald Araujo has been one of the main reasons we've been getting knocked out in the Champions League, or the last 2 years why we got it knocked out. He just didn't come on to the same intensity and to the amount of importance that he needed to come on to help the team succeed and help the team to get to the next round, which at this year was the final. I'm not gonna fully blame it on him. There was a lot of problems with the team in general, how badly we just defended against Inter Milan, but Ronald Araujo got a lot of the stick for it because those 2 goals just look like he just got cooked. Let's be honest, he just got cooked. So there's been a lot of rumors going around. Araujo, we should get rid of him. He needs to go. We need to sell him. Look, listen, Ronald Araujo, these last couple of years has shown that he has a level. I think the main problem with him, which is the same problem with Andres Christensen, is injury problems. These guys get injured a lot. I don't think they've had a consistent year under Barcelona. I think they've been, in and out of the squad a lot of times because they just consistently get injured. With Ronald Araujo and Christensen, I can understand because they're very pacey defenders. They try to track back a lot with their pace, and they run a lot, so they could definitely pick up something when it comes to that. But when it comes to consistency throughout the years and playing a full season, we haven't really seen it between these two. Specifically more Ronald Araujo. But it's a tough situation because Ronald Araujo could definitely be someone that we can get a lot of money for. When it comes to a lot of talks going around that we have to get rid of one of the big guys to, sacrifice one of the big guys to make some money, which is usually between the likes of Frenkie de Jong or Ronald Araujo. I would every day get rid of Ronald Araujo over Frenkie de Jong just because Araujo, I feel like, can be replaced. Frenkie de Jong can be replaced. The talent that Frenkie de Jong is, he can be replaced, or it's very difficult to replace him. With Ronald Araujo, he can, potentially be replaced because Ronald Araujo's main thing is obviously his aggressiveness, his strength, and his pace. A lot of defenders can have that, a lot of defenders have that on them. I think one player I can really think of is the talent like Van de Ven from Spurs, from Tottenham. There's players like him, but the same problem with Van de Ven is that he always gets injured. But when it comes to actually selling him this summer, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it will because I think, he's definitely solidified himself with the locker room, with the players, with the other players of how, they get along with each other. He's a captain, and considering I think Hansi Flick still trusts him and still sees something in him that can definitely be used for the future. Now, in my opinion, I think we should keep Araujo. He's obviously frustrated me a bunch of times, but he's still young. He hasn't hit his prime. He's 26 years old. So usually for a defender, what their prime is around, 28, 29, 30s, around there. So I don't think we should make the sacrifice of getting rid of Ronald Araujo unless we desperately do need to. But I think we should definitely keep him just because he has a future. He can improve. And if we get him fit, I think this guy could be 100% one of the best center backs in the world. Like, we've considered him one of the best center backs in the world in previous seasons. And again, just give him the confidence. If he learns the high line system as perfect as CUBARSI and INIGO have, like, this guy can be amazing for us, because the one thing that he has over every other defender is his pace, his aggressiveness, how easily he catches up to to attackers when they get through them. So he's definitely someone that we would definitely need in the rotation, in the depth that we for the defense. So in my opinion, he shouldn't go. He should not go this summer. We should 100% keep Ronald Araujo. Now, when it comes to Andres Christensen, listen, Andres Christensen has missed this entire season. He's barely played. Like, he's just come in this month. Like, literally this month, he's just come back. For the I think the Champions League was the first game he came back on, if I'm not mistaken, against Inter. But yeah, it's been a long time. I don't really understand the situation when it comes to Andres Christensen, because I see multiple reports him. Oh, he's back in training. Oh, he picked up an injury in training. I'm like, how? Like, bro, like, this guy, he's definitely had a lot of injury problems in the past, like Ronald Araujo. Now, should we get rid of him? Should he go? I love Christensen. I personally love Christensen. I think he's an amazing defender. When he joined us under Xavi, I thought he was amazing for us. Like, I would say that he's definitely the second best player on the ball, when it comes to with the center backs. Inigo Martinez, is matching him for sure, because Inigo Martinez has improved massively, and that's one of the main reasons Xavi wanted Inigo Martinez, because just how good he is on the ball, like how good he is in distribution going forward, right? But I think Christensen is equal, if not a little bit better, but we just haven't seen it as much this season because he's been out basically all season. So he's the second oldest out of the center backs that we have. He's 29 years old, so he's getting there, but that can also mean that he's reaching his prime. He's reaching his his peak, which I think we should take full advantage of. I think we should keep Christensen because, for me, again, he's an amazing defender. I think he's an amazing defender. He's a very intelligent defender. He's quick, and the recent games that we've been seeing from Christensen, he's actually shown that he can really understand Hansi Flick's system, and he does it well. And the high burst of pace that he has in trying to recover whenever the attackers do get through us, he's shown it. And I think he could definitely be a great player and a great defender, potentially even be a starter over Araujo or Inigo Martinez. But that will also come down to how fit he can stay throughout the season. Like again, it's been a question of just injuries with Christensen ever since he's joined Barcelona. Like, this season, he literally missed the whole season. So if we can get him fit, if we can get him to continue playing throughout a whole season, I think this guy could definitely be a starter for us over Inigo. Not CUBARSI, not much, but over Inigo for sure. I just rate him that high. I think Christensen is an amazing defender, and hopefully we will be able to keep him. When it comes to his contract ends in 2026. Okay, so I don't know if there's been any talks, because I doubt there have been any talks just because he's been out practically all season. So the club is definitely looking like, is this guy someone that we can really trust? Considering how Hansi Flick has been putting him in, he definitely sees something in him, right? He definitely sees something that he can, bring to us. So hopefully Christensen stays. If we do have to sell him, it's going to be tough, because a lot of clubs are for sure also doubting, can this guy even stay fit a whole season? He's not played practically anything this whole season. So I think if we try to get rid of him, it's going to be difficult, but I would personally, want to keep him. At this point, I'm basically saying we have to keep the whole defense, because when it comes to the center backs, I already said, like, we shouldn't really be getting rid of anyone. Like, I think we should keep all the center halves that we have. Jules Koundé, 100% has to stay. He's been our right back practically all season. I think he's probably going to continue being our right back, because when it comes to the fullback situations, I really don't know who we're eyeing on. Like, the main guy I was trying to eye on for us to potentially get was Frimpong, but he just recently signed for Liverpool for a 35 million fee. Now, considering the player that Frimpong is, what he brings to you, it's kind of odd that Barcelona weren't even eyeing him. Like, didn't even show some, like, something to be like, okay, we could potentially get this guy, some interest in him, which is kind of weird considering 35 million is not much. It's not much for a player of his quality. So, yeah, unfortunately, Frimpong has gone to Liverpool. So when it comes to the right back situations, the only ones I've seen that we've been linked to is Vanderson from Monaco, who looks decent, but I don't know. We're gonna see how the fullback situation goes for Barcelona. We'll see what other news comes out in the future. But Jules Koundé 100% has to stay. Eric Garcia, look, out of all the center backs that I've named, he could be the most likely be the one that would potentially leave Barcelona. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he wanted to leave Barcelona. His contract ends next year as well, in 2026. He has a year left, and Eric Garcia has been the one guy that's expressed that he wants to get more minutes. He wants to be a starter for a club, starter for Barcelona. Under Xavi basically told him, you're not going to start over CUBARSI or ARAUJO. They're just too good. You're going to be, a backup. And that's why last season he went to Girona on loan, which for him was excellent, was an amazing, loan spell, because we all saw what Girona accomplished last season. They came in third. They had a wonderful season. They got the double over Barcelona, and he's been a major part of it. Like, Mikel was expressing multiple times, wanting to sign Eric Garcia. We almost lost him this season as well because Girona wanted to get him. But Hansi Flick, I think, is the one that really convinced Eric Garcia, just stay. We can definitely get something out of you. And at first, he was playing more of a defensive mid role because at that point, when he started playing, I think Bernal was already out because Bernal went injured. I think the second game, I think it was the second game that Marc Bernal went completely out of the squad. So he started getting trusted more first at the defensive mid, then as a center back. He got injured at one point. He missed quite a bit. He came back, and after that injury, every time Eric Garcia came on, I thought he was amazing. I think he improved massively this season, as much as INIGO Martinez. Like, these two have improved massively under Hansi Flick. Eric Garcia, we can definitely say since joining Barcelona has not been the best. Like, he's had a lot of bozo moments. He's had a lot of moments where we just like, yeah, you're just not good enough, bro. You have to go. We definitely a lot of moments where we as fans were saying we have to get rid of him. He just doesn't have the level. But again, after his loan spell in Girona, coming back to Barcelona, getting the confidence from Hansi Flick, and he's just improved. He's improved a lot. Recently playing as a right back, which was a revelation because we would have never expected him to ever be there, play there. When Kounde went down, I think all of us were expecting ARAUJO to play there, but no, it was Eric Garcia. Hansi Flick decided to trust Eric Garcia, and he's done excellent playing as a right back. So, again, I'm just going to keep repeating myself. He's definitely a guy that I would want to stay at Barcelona. But if we do got to get rid of someone, I think Eric Garcia is the best bet that we would get some money from. Because Eric Garcia has shown this season he's been incredible. He definitely can start for most clubs in Europe. He's shown the level. So if we were to get bread for someone, it'll probably be Eric Garcia. 30, 35, 40 million for Eric Garcia. I wouldn't mind that. I would love for him to stay because I think he's a great rotational player. I don't think he has the level to start over for Barcelona because the other center backs are just too good for him. And but I wouldn't be surprised if we do get rid of him this summer because, again, he's been one of the guys that's expressed a lot that he wants to leave. Like, when he left to Girona, Xavi wanted to keep him, but he wanted to get more playing time. He wanted to be a starter. And he definitely deserves it. He can definitely start for most clubs. Definitely any club in La Liga he can start for, besides maybe Real Madrid and Barca. Any club in La Liga, most clubs in the Premier League. This guy has a level. He has the level. He's improved massively. And, if he can get 30, 40 million for Eric Garcia this summer, I'd sell him. That'd be a good price range for him. And yeah, but he'll be the most likely one that will leave this summer. Hopefully not. Hopefully we're able to keep him. But looking at the financial situation of Barcelona, we're going to have to sell. We're going to have to sell some players. And Eric Garcia will probably be most likely the one of the center halves that we will sell this summer. Now, when it comes to Balde and Gerard Martin, the fullback situations, listen, Balde is our best left back. He's the one that we've trusted all season long. But at the same time, we have to get someone to back him up. We need to get a backup from him. The linkage, the people that I've been seeing linked to Barcelona has only been really Grimaldo. That's really the only links I've seen at Barcelona trying to get a fullback, or left back more specifically. But we have Jetta Martin now as the backup. Again, Jetta Martin, I've expressed a lot throughout the season that I don't really like Jetta Martin, but in recent games he's improved. He's improved a bit. He definitely shows that he can improve. He's still young. He's only 20. He's 23 years old. He's still a young lad, so he can definitely improve. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does improve because Hansi Flick has already, gotten the best out of a lot of players. He can definitely do the same things with Jetta Martin. Who knows? Jetta Martin might shut me up next year and be an outstanding player. But him starting over Balde, just no way. Balde is just too good. But we're definitely going to need Jetta Martin to either step up massively this season or Barcelona just get another left back. I think either or we should definitely get a left back because I think for the big games, the big important games, if we do miss Balde, we're going to need that massive, that massive big game player to come off the bench and, play a big role for us like Grimaldo could do for us. So again, I haven't seen many links to Barcelona's fullback situation, so hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll see more. Overall, this is just me talking about the defense situation that we have. Like we still have to talk about a lot of other positions like the midfield potentially and up top. I think up top for sure has to be the most emphasis on. But when it comes to the defense, we're pretty solid on the defense. We just need more rotation. Mostly on the fullbacks. Center halves we're good on. We're chilling on center halves. We have to focus on fullbacks. That's the main positions we have to focus on. Right back, more definitely on right back. Especially if we're going to lose Eric Garcia this summer, then it has to be a right back. So when it comes to Barcelona's situation this summer, Barcelona definitely has the team to compete for next season when it comes to the defense aspect, but we definitely need to invest for sure. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought about the video. What do you guys think about Barcelona's current defensive situation? Are you happy with him? Do we need signings? I think for sure fullbacks have to be the priority. Who do you guys like on the market? Who do you guys would prefer to come in for Barcelona? And if you were to sacrifice one of the center halves that we currently have, who would you get rid of? Who would you potentially sell? And how much would you sell them for? Again, the only one I would really get rid of is Eric Garcia. Besides that, all the other ones I think we should keep. So yeah, let me know all those things down in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe, favorite, hit the notification bell for every time we upload. Share to your friends that love football. And I'll see you on the next video, you motherfuckers.